Kids, get your popcorn out. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson.
So I've been thinking a lot about how Avengers Doomsday might mark the end of the road for Thor in the MCU, and not just in a he retires quietly kind of way. There's a particular storyline from Marvel's comics, especially one connected to Secret Wars, that suggests Thor's death could be not only possible, but kind of inevitable. What makes this even more interesting is that Doomsday is shaping up to be Marvel's biggest event film yet, and it's already packed with over 24 characters, including newer heroes and a few familiar faces. And just to add fuel to this speculation, we recently got a cryptic little comment from Tom Hiddleston, aka Loki himself. He teased that he knows some things about what's going down in Avengers Doomsday, which has only made people more curious, especially when paired with the return of Robert Downey Jr. in an unexpected twist. So let's unpack everything that's swirling around this movie, and how it might lead to Thor's final bow. When Avengers Doomsday was officially announced, Chris Hemsworth's name was one of the first to be confirmed. At the time, fans were thrilled because we hadn't seen Thor since Thor: Love and Thunder in 2022. But now that the dust has settled on that film, which got a mixed reception, it's becoming more and more likely that this could be Thor's last ride. Hemsworth has been playing Thor since Phase 1 of the MCU, and he's got the most solo movies of any Avenger, with 4 under his belt. So if anyone deserves a heroic exit, it's him. And let's be honest, Marvel has a habit of closing out original Avenger stories in very permanent ways. Just look at what happened with Tony Stark and Natasha Romanoff. So if Thor is going to die, it kinda makes sense that it happen in Doomsday. In fact, theories about Thor's death have been floating around for a while now, and with Hemsworth recently releasing a heartfelt video calling his time as Thor an honor, many fans are reading it as his subtle farewell. Even if it's not a confirmed goodbye, the emotional tone of his message suggests that something big, and possibly final, is on the horizon. What makes this even more intriguing is how much Doomsday seems to be pulling from Jonathan Hickman's comic run, especially the Time Runs Out storyline that leads directly into Secret Wars 2015. In that arc, the multiverse is literally collapsing as different versions of Earth collide. The Beyonders, a group of cosmic beings, are causing chaos across dimensions using molecule men as ticking time bombs, and the heroes of Earth scramble to find a way to stop it. This leads to the Avengers, including the Illuminati, forming a desperate alliance to hold things together. And in one of the most epic moments of that whole arc, Thor and Hyperion make a last stand against the Beyonders. It's a hopeless fight, and they both die trying to stop the destruction. It's tragic, yes, but also deeply heroic, and very comic accurate. So if Doomsday is laying the groundwork for Secret Wars, there's a decent chance Marvel could mirror this moment. It would give Thor a powerful send-off that's both meaningful and rooted in comic lore. Plus, it would tie his fate directly into the multiversal stakes that Doomsday is all about. As much as a big heroic death might feel fitting, I really hope Marvel considers other ways to end Thor's arc. After everything the character has been through, losing his family, his planet, and even his self-worth at times, maybe he deserves a quiet ending instead of yet another sacrifice. The thing is, we've already seen that characters don't have to die to exit the MCU. Steve Rogers, for example, simply aged out and passed the torch. So why not do the same for Thor? He's already proven himself countless times, and killing him off just to underline his nobility feels a bit overdone at this point. Plus, with Hemsworth having played the character for 15 years, it would be completely fair if he wanted to step away. But that doesn't mean Marvel has to end Thor's story in tragedy. Maybe he finally finds peace, or maybe he sets off on a new journey that takes him out of the spotlight but leaves the door open for a return someday. Now, let's circle back to Hiddleston's recent comments, because those added a whole new layer to the hype. He was on the Happy Sad Confused podcast and confirmed he's definitely returning as Loki in Avengers Doomsday. He didn't spoil anything, of course, but he made it clear he knows a bit about what's coming and he couldn't hide his excitement. According to him, Getting to play Loki all these years has been a privilege, and it feels personal because he's grown alongside the character. Interestingly, Hiddleston also said he genuinely believed Loki Season 2 was going to be the end of his MCU journey, so being invited back for Doomsday was a surprise for him too. But what really shook things up was when he started talking about Robert Downey Jr. returning, not as Iron Man but as Dr. Doom. That twist caught everyone off guard, including Hiddleston. He admitted he only found out when the public did and immediately texted Kevin Feige in disbelief. Seeing RDJ play such a major villain after being the MCU's biggest hero is going to be a major moment in Doomsday. So, what does this all mean for Loki? For starters, it's a huge deal that he's back at all, especially now that he's more of a hero than a villain. If you've seen Loki Season 2, then you know he's taken on a new role as the God of Time, which could make him essential in whatever happens during the multiversal chaos of Doomsday. And here's the twist that makes this really fun. Loki was the MCU's original big bad in the Avengers back in 2012. Now, over a decade later, he might be one of the key players in saving the multiverse. Meanwhile, Downey, who played the ultimate good guy as Tony Stark, is now taking on the role of Dr. Doom, arguably the biggest bad in Marvel's universe. That flip in roles is not just poetic, it's bound to bring some complex, emotional layers to the story. Having Loki face off, or possibly team up, with Doom opens up some really exciting possibilities. We don't know if they'll be enemies, allies, or something in between, but whatever happens, their shared history in the MCU will definitely make for powerful storytelling. At this point, it feels like Avengers Doomsday is going to be a defining moment for the MCU. With a mix of old and new heroes, surprise returns, and huge multiversal stakes, the movie is setting itself up as both a conclusion and a new beginning. And right at the heart of it are two characters we've known since the start, Thor and Loki. Thor's fate still hangs in the balance, but the signs are pointing toward a dramatic end. Whether that means death or a different kind of farewell, I just hope Marvel gives him the respect he deserves. After all these years, he's earned it. As for Loki, Hiddleston's enthusiasm is infectious, and seeing his character evolve into someone who might be essential in taking down Doom, that's the kind of full-circle arc that feels incredibly satisfying. So whether you're hoping for Thor to survive or bracing yourself for his final battle, there's no denying that Avengers Doomsday is shaping up to be one of Marvel's most ambitious and emotional films yet. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.